What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Waters. Welcome to nolifetilmetal. We are going to be doing a rock metal update. That's right. All vinyl, rock and metal updates. Got a pile of records here I want to show you. So I'm going to get right into it. Starting off with Betrayal. See if I can get less glare. There you go, Betrayal. First album for Betrayal, Right Since My Death. This is on Girder Records, and I think this might be either the first or second vinyl release on Girder. Girder's been around for years, but they've always just been CDs. They just started doing vinyl, and I believe this was, it's either their first or their second release, I'm pretty sure. Girder is part of the limited run vinyl series that are coming out now, limitedrunvinyl.com. So this is a great album. Old school thrash, very dark feeling to it. Kind of a late release, I believe it was like 2000, I believe it was like 1991 or so this album came out. But it's just great thrash, old school thrash. Like I said, very dark themes. It is a biblically based, but they explore a lot of dark social themes within the context of Christianity. So, yeah, very cool. This is on it's on a kind of a purplish vinyl. I'll show the vinyl real quick, but this is not on the limitedrunvinyl.com site. This album actually was free sold prior to the Limited Run Vinyl site going up. So despite the fact that it has the Limited Run Vinyl logo on the back of it, which it does right there, it was not sold as part of that Limited Run Vinyl series. And there was no insert in this one, which is kind of a bummer. I always like the inserts, but it is what it is. There's a photo in the back of the band so you can kind of get the idea. Oh, and also, put this over here. I wanted to show you a couple cool things that I got that aren't vinyl. Very cool memoriam of Philip Lynott. This is some stamps from Ireland. And it has the card, the promotional card for the stamps, and the actual stamps. And a good friend of mine from Facebook, he saw these. He's like, dude, I know you want those. You want me to grab them for you? I said, yes, please, sir. So yeah, very cool. Thank you very much for picking those up for me. Those will be going in my rock and roll scrapbook, which I have tons of crap like that. I love stuff like that. And also, I thought I'd show this one. Bill Bafford ran into a frame store, and they had this poster in there, and he thought of me and grabbed it. So very exciting. Promo poster for Still Dangerous, which was recorded in Philadelphia in 1977. My old stomping grounds, the Tower Theater. I saw other shows there. Didn't see this show. 77 was just a little bit before my time of going to concerts. So very cool. It's actually right now just in a cardboard and shrink wrap. Eventually it'll need to be put into a frame. So anyhow, back to the vinyl. I did grab those because I wanted to show them to you. I just forgot at the beginning. Next up, this is a brand new reissue on Hell's Headbangers of the very first Deceased album, which I believe was also the very first album for, let's see if it says it on this little sticker on here. This is the truly classic debut album by American Underground Legends, the very first album released on A Young Then Relapse Records in 1991. So yeah, the first full-length album on Relapse Records, but this happens to be a repressing on Hell's Headbangers. So Deceased, old school death metal, a lot of thrash influences. Obviously most early death metal was very influenced by thrash, so glad to finally have it on vinyl. Sticking with the death metal, I guess, not intentionally. Carcass, artwork. One of my all-time favorite. I call it melodic death metal. I don't know if that's what it actually physically labeled or not. I don't really care. It's just very aggressive, but great riffing, great guitar solos, memorable songs. It's just everything I like about heavy music. You know what I mean? It's not just blast beats for blast beat's sake. It's not about attitude and atmosphere like a lot of black metal. It's got great songs and great riffing and great guitar solos and hooks galore, you know, and that's what I think I like so much about this particular Carcass album. In my opinion, it's one of their best. So, artwork by Carcass, just a black vinyl version. Yeah, the sticker on the back, just all it says is press original tapes, full dynamic range. Which original tapes are not. A lot of music from the 90s onward was recorded digitally anyhow, so full dynamic range is what it is. You know, digital is digital, so moving it to analog might give it a little bit of a warmer sound, but whatever. This is awesome. This is another repressing. I didn't even know this was pressed. I freaked out when I found that it was, and I figured, oh, it's going to be overpriced because it was pressed to vinyl a couple years ago. But this is Savage Thrust, Eat 'em Raw. New York City thrash metal. These guys were around when I was, you know, they're from my home area, because that whole New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey area is kind of where I went to concerts, and that was my whole music scene back in the day. I mean, we consider Anthrax a local band. I was from New Jersey, but Anthrax was from New York, so they were a local band. Literally a half an hour drive up the road, you know, from where I was living. So Savage Thrust was another one. I still have one of their old concert pins, but this album, very hard to find, the original pressings. So very cool that High Roller Records saw fit to produce this one. It's still available. So not a lot of people knew about this release. I think it's some black vinyl, but it did come with a poster, which I believe was just a cover. But still, who would have expected an underground release like that to see not only a release on High Roller, but to get a giant poster of the excessively cheesy, gory 80s artwork. But despite the artwork, you might think this is some sort of death metal or something of that nature. This is just great speed metal. Kind of clean, high-pitched vocals. So if you're into stuff like, you know, Agent Steel or Toxic or Realm or Deliverance, early Deliverance, stuff like that, that's kind of what you get with Savage Thrust. So you get the heavy riffing, the machine gun riffing, you get the fast drum beats, you get the, you know, not blast beats, but the double bass and that kind of thing. And it's like thrash metal with clean vocals. So it's got melody to it. Unlike some thrash metal, like a band like Creators, it's more chaotic, you know, and it's got, and the vocals are, especially early Creator or early Sodom, it's got, you know, it's more raw. This is more melodic, speed metal kind of stuff. So, yeah, highly recommended. Savage Thrust, New York City band. I'm not sure when this album originally came out. I know I think it was like 1990 or 91, something in that area. Brand new album from Savage Master. New wave of traditional heavy metal. This is on High Roller, Shadow Kingdom, excuse me. I love the fact they press a lot of their albums on an uncoated stock. I love the feel, I love the look. Of course, they have their whole gimmick going on with the musicians always being masked, and as you can see there. And Stacy, what is her name? The vocalist's name? I can't remember her name on top of my head. Let me see if it's on here somewhere. It should be. There's an insert in this thing if I can get it out. There we go. Stacy Savage. Being the only one that's, you know, not masked. So she is the central figure in the band. And band members have switched in and out on this particular band. But yeah, it's definitely kind of your B-grade horror kind of stuff. So if you're easily offended by lyrics, then it's probably not going to be your thing. Excuse me. But it's a good, solid heavy metal album. You know, if you're into bands like Hellion, this stuff will be right up your alley. It's not commercial. Usually when you think of female vocals, people tend to think it's more commercial or more poppy. Not poppy at all. Cool vinyl. Very unusual color. Orange, yellow split with red splatter through it. And then this one comes in a multitude of different colors. I pre-ordered this, so that's the one that came. I really don't care what color I got. I was just glad to get a copy, so. Savage Master 2019. And this is Myth, Magic, and Steel. Dark, female-fronted heavy metal for fans of Sirith, Ungol, Doro, Acid, Bitch, and Witchfinder General. Oh, excuse me again. Alright, original pressing. Sticking with the thrash theme here, which seems to be a constant in my channel, huh? Acrophet, Corrupted Minds. Scored this one on someone who's selling it on Facebook. The vinyl CD Asylum. place that I sometimes sell records, but I buy a lot of records from there. Acrophet, Corrupt Minds. Second, third wave of thrash metal. This band being from, I believe, from California. Regardless, just solid great band. I like. They only released, I think, 2 full-length albums, and I have them both on CD. When I saw this one on there for a decent price, I grabbed it. But yeah, a raw, aggressive thrash metal. Another new release for 2019. Brand new Ram. Surprised I haven't shown more people showing this. Back when the past releases come out, I've seen several channels just going gaga over this band. Unfortunately, guys like Grimoire who were showing this kind of stuff, or who else was showing it? There was several channels back in the day that showed this kind of stuff. Rory Martins was really into Ram. And there's a bunch of guys. Unfortunately, a lot of those guys don't do videos anymore. It's kind of a bummer. But regardless, new Ram, great stuff. Old school heavy metal, kind of has a bit of a Merciful Fate bend to the sound. Great vocals. Always liked Ram's vocals. I think it's one of the things that sets them apart from a lot of other new wave of traditional heavy metal bands. So this is probably what, their 5th or 6th full-length album now. I think it's like 6th full-length album. Great stuff. So so they're on their 6th studio epic of Gothenburg's heavy metal flagship. 20 years of Swedish firepower. So there you go. And the last one in the corner reissues I didn't have. Grim. This is, again, Grimoire. Grim. Coroner are known as a thrash band, and they definitely were a thrash band. I don't think so much on here. I kind of think of them a lot like Voivod. They were kind of progressive thrash, and they moved further and further away from thrash as time went on. And this is more of just a progressive metal album. And there are some thrash elements still, but really, to call this thrash metal is really pushing the limits of what you call thrash. It's really progressive, very heavy stuff, but also very good stuff. I like everything that Coroner did. So this is a reissue on Noise Records, and it is a two LP set. Has the album split into 2 records with 1, 2, 3 on side A, 1, 2 on side B, 1, 2, 3 on side C, and 1, 2 on side D. So that's kind of annoying, except for the fact that the songs are long, much like progressive bands. You've got songs here that the average range of songs is probably around 6 to 7 minutes long. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 songs on here are all over 6 minutes. Most of them pushing 7 and even 8 minutes long. And then there's a couple shorter songs, more like interludes, like A Dream Path, which is 1.5 minutes, and Theme for Silence, which is not even 1.5 minutes. So, yeah, great record. I love Coroner. I'm glad to finally get all their stuff on vinyl. Have some original pressings, have some reissues. This happens to be a reissue. I don't know if this one was ever released originally on vinyl or not. It came out in 1993, so that was kind of the end, around the end of the first wave of vinyl. So it may not even been released on vinyl before. It would have had to have been on a double vinyl even back then. So, all right, another new release from an old band. I kind of showed this one in a thrash metal video, so I won't talk too much about it. This is the new Acid Rain. I'm hearing some complaints about it because it's not as joking as it was before. They weren't as, they were always kind of a funny band, and that was kind of their shtick. They were funny, and they a lot of joke songs, a lot of joke themes. UK Applecore, that was their kind of whole deal. They're a little more serious thrash on here. Okay. I don't expect them to rehash old stuff. I expect them to do what they want to do, and what they do here is just some serious, very good thrash metal. Memorable songs, great hooks, great, once again, machine gun riffing, fast songs, mid-pace songs. There's a little bit of everything. It's not a boring record. It's a fantastic record. I like the cover art too. You got a kind of psycho-looking clown holding an iPhone there, so definitely a modern-day cover. But just the whole clown thing to begin with is pretty creepy. So, Acid Rain. This is the Age of Entitlement. Nothing original. Sticking with the thrash thing. Nothing original pressing. This is Realm Endless Wars, one of my all-time favorite albums. I love this album. They only put out 2 albums that I'm aware of, unless they did any reunion stuff. But this album there's just not a song in here that I don't love, including. What I know a lot of people don't like, they do a Beatles cover, Eleanor Rigby. I think might have been Aaron Metal Theologian's channel, where he said, as soon as he sees that, it's kind of a turn off for him. But that's a great cover. They do a fantastic version of it, making the song their own. You know, taking a Beatles song and making it a thrash song, that's not easy to do, and I think they did a great job of it. But honestly, my favorite song on here is Slay the Oppressor. Man, what a killer song that is. Just great lyrics, great vocals, great music, everything about it I just love. If you go to my nolifetilmetal.com website and read the review, I even post the lyrics to the song on there because I really like it. I mean, it's kind of a biblically based song about slaying the oppressor, so that's probably one of the reasons I like it so much. But regardless, just a great album. 1988, I believe it was, Road Racer Records, and clean vocals, so more towards the speed metal things than I would say the thrash, because again, you know, right around the same as Toxic and Agent Steel and bands like that, more so than you know, like Slayer or Creator or Sodom and that kind of more harsh stuff. All right, keeping going here. We got just a few more. This is Amulet, UK new wave traditional heavy metal band. This is fantastic. Man, this is good stuff. Too bad this didn't come out in 1985, 84, 83. These guys would have been, you know, one of the big bands if it had come out back then. Coming out now, yeah, not so much. But regardless, if you're into that, you know, new wave of British heavy metal stuff, these guys really take that sound and run with it. I can't say they sound like any one particular band. I have a feeling they're very influenced by the likes of like Angel Witch and maybe even Diamond Head, but still, you know, it's not thrash, so you're not going to hear like Venom or Raven or stuff like that, and it's definitely not like on the more commercial hard rock side of things. Definitely metal, but very good band. Amulet. This is back on Black Records for 2019. Let's see what the little hype sticker says. Amulet are the real deal, loud, fast, and heavy, yet maintaining the melody and catchiness that makes real heavy metal great. The true masters are back to smash your faces in. So there you go. Amulet. Glad to have it. Another excellent album for 2019. Got two more here. This one I'm going to show quickly again. I showed this in Thrash Metal Day not too long ago, but this is the new Freakings. This is their fourth album, I believe. 1, 2, 3. I think it's their fourth album. But yeah, again, straight up thrash. You know what I mean? These guys are thrash for thrash sake. That's kind of their whole shtick. They just love thrash metal, and they let loose on here. You know, I compare them much to, like, you know, bands like Exodus. You know, that's like, you could tell Exodus is like a huge influence on them, or Slayer, Metallica, that early stuff. That's their foundation. So it's a lot of speed for speed's sake. You're not going to get a whole lot of variety within you know, the tempos of the song. But if you just want that pounding, you know, in your face, machine gun riffing, beat you over the head with a brick thrash metal, that's what you get with Freakings. So great stuff. Rise of Violence, Freakings. And this is on a sticker that says Yellow Black Marbled Edition. That's what it is. So last one I think I'm going to show for today. This is, how we doing for time? Yeah, I'm under 20 minutes. So Sacrifice, Apocalypse Inside. Another reissue. Trying to grab all the Sacrifice stuff before it, you know, disappears, and I have to put lots of money out to get them. Almost have them all. But this is on Flogger Records. This is a reissue. This is probably my, it's hard to say what my favorite is. This one ranks pretty high. This is a great record. This is actually the Sacrifice album that made me a fan, because I bought a CD back in, when it came out, I don't know, it was the early 90s. I had heard about them, not through any other way, but because they toured with Believer, and I was a big Believer fan, so I had to check out Sacrifice, and this is the album that I picked up. I picked it up on CD and loved it, and so therefore it kind of ranks as one of my favorites. Kind of proggy, progressive thrash metal here. They weren't just doing speed for speed's sake as they were in their earlier stuff. They had something to prove here, and I think they proved it. They were great musicians as well as metal fans. So it is a gatefold. I guess I can open the gatefold up real quick and show it to you. I don't remember if it was colored vinyl or not. I didn't care if it was colored vinyl. Came with, I think, a poster as well, if I'm not mistaken. So there's the gatefold. I kind of love the graphics on this thing as well. Very very progressive, very proggy. You can see, I mean, I can see this on some 70s prog record, you know. I can see like Eloy having this cover, or even Yes, you know, something like that. But yeah, it is red vinyl. just a plain old. I think red vinyl seems to be more common these days than black vinyl. I don't know why, but yeah, it did come with a poster too with the cover, I believe. So there you go. Pretty cool. That's not the cover, is it? No, it's not. It's part of. It's the entire painting actually, because the cover is just the lower portion of this thing, I believe. Yeah, the cover is just like right down here. So this is the entire painting, which is really cool. Well, let me show one more. It's right back here. I wasn't sure if I was going to show it because I haven't had a chance to really digest it yet. But I picked up the new Angel Witch. And I definitely think that they have a sound that, I mean, this could have come out in 1984 or 83 musically. So Metal Blade Records. It's really unique. The packaging is unique. It looks like it's just a regular record, and it's actually quite oversized. It barely fits into this sleeve, and even that, I had to put it in sideways. And it's on like it's printed on like a very thick. It's not even like a cover stock. I don't know if I'll even be able to get out. It's very tight in this thing. No worry about warping the record though, because this thing is super thick. It's like a book stock almost. I mean, like you'd see a book cover printed on. You know what I mean? Gatefold. So there's the cover, and you got the. See the Angel Witch logo is gold foil stamped into it. I mean, this is some heavy packaging. This had to be really expensive to have made. Again, it's on red vinyl because, you know, like I said, red vinyl seems to be the new black. Red is the new black. But yeah, I only got to hear it once or twice so far, and I do like it. I just can't say, you know, I haven't really digested it yet enough to say whether, you know, it's you know, old Angel Witch fans are going to love it, but I kind of think they will because I'm quite enjoying it, and it has that old school feel to it. So, you know, I don't know. It's out, so if you like Angel Witch, take a look into it. I grabbed it before it disappeared because I just had a feeling there was only a handful pressed in the United States, which is apparently what the case was. It's mostly a European pressing, and the US has a very limited pressing, so I went ahead and grabbed it while I could. But there you go. So Angel, what is it called? I don't even remember. Angel of Light. Actually, the Angel of Light is also done with gold foil. So there you go. That's my rock metal update for what are we in now? November, almost December 2019. So this may be the last one for 2019. Hope you all enjoyed it. Look forward to talking to you below. Leave some comments and let's talk music. If you know more about this, or if you like the new Angel Witch, you hate the new Angel Witch, that's the kind of stuff I love talking about in these videos. Even if you just say hi, I always respond back. So appreciate it. That's it. God bless. Stay strong.